Hello, boys and girls. It's Auntie Jill in her neighborhood. And today we're going to talk about finding your wild. You might be saying, what's my wild? Well, kids, it's your passion. It's what you get your groove on. It's your God-given talents. And everybody has talents. And you know that one of my favorite talents in all the world is making music and singing and being on the stage. But you also know that through the summer, I grew a garden. And one of my favorite wilds is being in nature and growing all of my plants and my vegetables. So, the end of the summer brought the end of my summer garden, and I still have a few things left. But now I've planted my winter garden, and I want you to discover it with me. So let's go. Hello, kids. Hello, boys and girls. And welcome to my newly refurbished winter garden. Now first, I want to show you my pots. And interestingly, this is my jalapeno pepper that I also had this summer, but I've planted her in a huge pot because as I understand, you can prune her and almost make her like a tree. But you see, here, I'm growing some new jalapenos, and I hope to be able to do this for several more months before I take her inside. And then in the pots where I had all of my tomatoes, now I've still pruned back my basil and my Thai basil, which as you can see is coming back. And I think I'll be able to keep them through the winter too. But in all the pots where I had tomatoes here, now I've planted lettuce. And now let me introduce you to the other parts of my winter garden. So here you go, kids. I think you can see what I left over from my summer garden. These bigger plants that are high above all the little plants that I've planted. But here, if I take you to this side, this is the remainder of my okra. You see that? I still have okra coming in. It's so yummy. So I decided to leave all of this there, as well as my peppers, my green and red peppers. And as you can see, they are huge and they are still producing such bounty. Look at that right there. But back in there, I have mustard greens. I still have a little bit of rhubarb left. Look at that beauty sitting up against the fence. There's all of those peppers. And then, here are all the new plants that I've planted. And I'll be telling you about these as they grow over the next few months. But in the meantime, I want to leave you with one final thought as you ponder your wild. So kids, I want you to ponder what is your wild. And I leave you with this final verse out of the book of Colossians in the New Testament. It's from Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And it reads, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for human masters. And I think this is something that I have carried with me all my life, and which has been a part of my success. Because like I said earlier, if you find your passion and you work at it with all your heart for your whole life, you'll never really work a day in your life, but you will serve the Lord through all the talents that He's given you. And right now, our world needs for you to find your talents, to find what your passion is, and work now to give it to this world and to this planet. And as we do it every week, know that I love you, and let's say our final prayer. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from the other. Find your wild, kids! And I'll see you next week.